Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. And today, we have a massive story developing in Detroit that could change the trajectory of the Lions moving forward. After an incredible 15-2 season in 2024, securing the #1 seed in the NFC, the Lions were riding high. But just as things seem to be settling into a golden era for Detroit football, a shocking shakeup in the coaching staff has left fans and analysts wondering, could the Lions' Super Bowl aspirations be in jeopardy? Detroit's remarkable 2024 season was fueled in large part by the brilliant minds of offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. Their decision to return for another year was a game-changer, allowing the Lions to build off their NFC Championship game appearance in 2023. But now, both have left Motor City for head coaching opportunities, Johnson heading to the Chicago Bears and Glenn taking over the New York Jets. And that's not all. The Lions also made a key roster move, trading cornerback Carlton Davis for DJ Reed. While the player personnel remains largely intact, the loss of both coordinators has sparked serious concerns among executives and fans alike. One anonymous NFL executive told The Athletic's Mike Sando, "There's a lot about Detroit that would scare me, but it's not the players." That statement alone raises an urgent question. Are the Lions still the dominant force they appear to be in 2024, or are they about to take a step back at the worst possible time? Let's start with the offense. Ben Johnson was widely regarded as one of the brightest young minds in the game. One executive even compared his departure to the Rams losing Sean McVay, saying, "Johnson was a genius, an evil genius, really." Losing him is massive. Taking over the offensive coordinator role is John Morton, a name that might not immediately inspire confidence. The last time Morton called plays in the NFL was in 2017 for the New York Jets, the season in which their offense ranked 28th in total yards. Not exactly a glowing resume. However, there is some hope. Morton was part of the offensive staff in Denver last year, where the Broncos broke a 9-year playoff drought. His passing game schemes also helped Denver rack up 52 plays of 20-plus yards, just behind Detroit's 62. With a stacked defensive unit featuring Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jameson Williams, Morton will have a much stronger group than he did in New York. But the big question remains, can he elevate the offense to the same level Johnson did? Another key factor in Detroit's offense in 2025 will be Jared Goff. Over the past 2 seasons, Goff has cemented himself as the franchise quarterback, silencing doubters who once questioned whether he could be the guy to lead the Lions to a championship. Now, with a new offensive coordinator, Goff will be asked to take on an even greater leadership role. He won't just be executing Johnson's brilliant game plans anymore. He will need to be a true field general, working closely with Morton to ensure the offense doesn't miss a beat. That's a lot of pressure, but if Goff continues his upward trajectory, Detroit might not just survive the coaching turnover, they might thrive because of it. On the defensive side, former linebackers coach Kelvin Shepard has been promoted to defensive coordinator. Unlike Morton, Shepard has never called a defense before. But insiders believe his deep understanding of the linebacker position could bring a fresh perspective. Former DC Aaron Glenn, a former defensive back himself, had a unique ability to maximize talent in the secondary. One executive pointed out Glenn was great at putting guys like Derek Barnes in the perfect role. The question now is whether Shepard can do the same. Analyst Christian Boer noted an interesting shift. Glenn saw the game through the lens of a cornerback. Shepard will now see it through the eyes of a linebacker. Could that change the way Detroit approaches defense? Will Shepard's aggressive mindset make the Lions even more formidable, or will inexperience cost them in crucial moments? Beyond the X's and O's, leadership will be a crucial component in determining whether Detroit remains at the top of the NFC. Dan Campbell has been the heart and soul of this team, instilling a culture of resilience and toughness. But with both coordinators gone, Campbell will have to take on even more responsibility. He will be the glue holding everything together, making sure the transition to new play callers doesn't disrupt the chemistry that made the 2024 Lions so special. That's no easy task, but if anyone can do it, it's Campbell. His passion for the game is infectious, and his players have completely bought into his vision. But can he keep them focused when adversity inevitably strikes? That remains to be seen. Despite all these changes, the core of the team remains intact. Jared Goff is still at the helm, the offensive weapons are as dangerous as ever, and the defense boasts playmakers like Aiden Hutchinson. But the road to the Super Bowl might not be as smooth as fans had hoped. If these new coordinators struggle, it could mean wasted potential for a Lions team that many believe is on the verge of greatness. On the other hand, if Morton and Shepard prove the doubters wrong, Detroit could solidify itself as a long-term powerhouse in the NFC. The talent is there. The leadership is there. But can they put it all together with a brand new coaching staff? The competition in the NFC is relentless. The Lions won't just have to worry about their own challenges. They'll be facing off against teams that have been building powerhouses of their own. The 49ers, Cowboys, and Eagles all have deep rosters with Super Bowl aspirations. Any misstep by Detroit could be costly. Detroit will also have to adapt to a new dynamic on the sidelines. Morton and Shepard will be learning on the job, and mistakes are inevitable. How quickly they adjust will determine whether the Lions remain contenders or regress. Can they keep up with experienced coaching staffs in high-pressure situations? Another potential challenge is how opposing teams will adjust to the Lions' new systems. Johnson and Glenn had their own tendencies, but Morton and Shepard bring different styles. Will opponents exploit the growing pains, or will the Lions be able to surprise them? Additionally, team chemistry will be under the microscope. Players thrived under Johnson and Glenn's leadership. Can they build the same trust and cohesion with new voices in their ears? There's no denying that Detroit has the talent to compete. But the biggest question remains, can they overcome the loss of their coordinators and maintain their trajectory as a top-tier franchise? Looking at the larger picture, these changes could also signal a shift in the overall culture of the Lions. While stability has been a key part of the team's recent success, change can bring fresh ideas and innovation. The coaching staff overhaul might be just what the Lions need to take the next step in their quest for a Super Bowl. There's also the possibility that the new coaches will introduce different leadership styles that resonate even more with the players, leading to a stronger team dynamic and chemistry. If that happens, the Lions could prove that they are more than just a one-season wonder. Ultimately, the Lions' future in 2025 and beyond depends on how well they navigate these challenges. The pieces are in place for another successful season, but the coaching staff will need to prove themselves in some critical early season tests. Will the new coaching staff gel quickly enough to maintain the Lions' upward momentum, or will this be a season of growing pains? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the Lions are going to be one of the most fascinating teams to watch in 2025.